Perfect. Yes, we're loading straight into the game here. I'll give a bit of a high-level overview before we start playing. So for today's demonstration, we've actually built a special version of the game where one person can control both players, just to make it easier for you guys to see all the juicy action from both perspectives. So Mindspheres is going to be controlling both the players. I'm going to be introducing a lot of the gameplay mechanics, talking about cards and doing a bit of backseat driving. Since we've actually got perspective on cards on both sides, we'll just be trying to guess what the best plays would be for each player based solely on what they have in hand and what they can see on the board from their perspective. So we'll try to walk you through the decision process, and we've turned off the turn timer just so we have enough time to talk through everything that's happening. As an early heads up, we may be making some questionable plays just to show off some of the cards or mechanics that we're particularly proud of. The stream will have a bit of a delay between what MS and I are saying, so please give us some leeway there. And yeah, ultimately it's up to you guys to work out what the meta will be, so don't worry too much about how we're playing through it. We just want to show you the game we've built. Also, all of the card design is tentative. We've been doing some continual testing and iterating on the design, so what you see today may change, but I think that's enough introduction so we can jump into the action here.
Yeah, someone's asking if there's any chance of higher than 420p quality. You should be able to select 1080p 60 frames a second in your YouTube, the YouTube drop down, so give that a go. Someone's asking if you can lower the music and turn your mic up. We'll see if we can tweak the volume just a little bit. 2 seconds, guys.
Sure.
Might be able to turn that down a little bit. Let's drop that a little bit. How about...
Yeah, it looks like we've got some people with 1080 quality.
If you're still seeing 480, try hitting refresh and see if it now gives you the 1080 option. How are the audio levels, guys? Everything okay? We've lowered the music just a little bit for the game. Audio's great. Awesome. Cool. Okay, let's crack on.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so we can see here that we've got a game between a paladin and an occultist. These are just two of many heroes that you'll be able to play in the trading card game, and will form part of your band of heroes in the broader overworld metaverse game that we've been building. But for now, they'll just serve the function of playing in the Colosseum, a trading card game together. Bit of poetic justice that we're doing this demo in April, the 4th month of the year. Heroes will have 420 hit points in our game, and the goal of the game is to reduce the enemy hero down to 0 HP or smoke them into conceding. That's really your ultimate goal. Next thing I'll identify is you can see that in our current build, each player will start the game with 5 cards in hand, and each player will draw 1 card per turn at the start of their turn. The only exception to that is player 1, who skips their first turn just to make it a bit more even, because going first is a bit of an advantage. So we can see the paladin only has 5 cards to work with for this game. And the final thing I'll talk about before we start playing the game is the big purple portal to the left of the hero portraits. So anyone wondering what that is, I'll tell you now. That is the staking portal. The staking mechanism in the Lords of Light, we like to think of as the next evolution of Magic the Gathering's land and mana system, without the risk of getting land flooded or land locked. The way it works is once per turn you can stake a card from your hand. It will destroy the card if you stake it, generate a gem of the same color as the card that you've staked, and you'll draw a new card to replace the card you've just staked. Gems are the equivalent of mana, what you need to play any card from hand, whether that's summoning a minion or playing a spell. And we can see at the top left, that's the cost of each of the cards. We've got 2 gem requirements. One is colored, one is colorless, which can be any gem, and we can go from there. So let's stake a card and show this mechanic in action. Since we're early game, you probably want to stake one of the more expensive cards since we're pretty far off being able to play them, and we want the tempo of the cheaper cards. So let's stake the Ogre and see what we get from the stake draw.
Draw a Radigon. Cool.
Cool.
By the way, some of the guys are commenting that your volume's a little bit low, so you might want to just speak a little bit louder.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll put the mic closer to my mouth too. Hopefully that helps it, and I'll
Hopefully it helps,
try to
guys.
speak up. Yeah. We'll do what we can.
Cool.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah.
Do you want a Radigon?
The end turn button. Yep. End turn button is glowing, showing we've got no other actions we can take. So let's end the turn and switch over to the Occultist.
And switch the Occultist. Pretty good draw for the Occultist there. Look, got a Chad.
Hey.
Drawn a Cyclops.
One of the
Very
mythics. Yeah, good stuff. So from the Occultist perspective, one exception to generally staking the more expensive cards, you might want to stake the base cards. So in the Lords of Light, there's 20 to 30 base cards that will be available for all players, free of cost, just so that people can get into the game or flesh out their decks if they don't have enough NFT cards to build a deck. And in this case, they tend to be a bit weaker than the NFT cards, but any card can generate a gem. So let's stake that red officer and get a red gem, see what we draw.
And we drew a Cold Storage, which freezes all enemy minions.
Perfect. Okay. But we don't have any cards that cost 1 gem or less, so we may as well end the turn and switch over.
Cool. Switching back to Paladin, who has drawn a Hydra.
Hydra. Okay, cool. So we can actually summon a minion now. We can see that we have 1 card in hand that costs 2 gems total. The Coiled Naga costs 1 blue gem and 1 gem of any color, so 2 total. Since we currently only have an orange gem, we do need a blue gem to be able to summon that. We've only got 1 other blue card in hand, so I think the obvious play is we stake the Penguin Mage. See what we get, see if that changes our
Got
play.
another Penguin Mage. Okay, so we can play the Coiled Naga.
Yep, let's do it.
Done. And
Great.
that's end turn.
Coiled Naga is a 20/20 with Freeze Strike, meaning that if she attacks and damages another minion, it is frozen and misses its next attack. You can also see that she looks to be asleep at the moment. That's because she has just been summoned, takes a turn to get ready. The only exception to that is if a minion has pumped, meaning they can attack on the same turn they are summoned, but only another minion, not the enemy hero. So let's end the turn and go back
End
to
turn and switch to the Occultist, who has picked up a Kraken.
Kraken. Okay, nice one. So we have a couple of cards we could play here, either the Forge Imp on the left or the Griffin second from the left. The Forge Imp doesn't have pumped, whereas the Griffin does, meaning the Griffin can immediately attack and I guess kill the Coiled Naga.
Yep,
so I'd say we're probably better off doing the Griffin.
And to play the Griffin, we'll need to stake the Cyclops to get a yellow gem.
That's
so
right.
we'll drop that 1 in.
See what we draw first. Generally always want to stake first just to see if the new
Drawn
changes
Liquidate.
play.
Cool.
Yep. It's a good card, but a bit far off.
So we play the Griffin, which will be pumped and allow us to attack the Coiled Naga straight off. So that'll be a trade, right?
Yep.
20, done.
So the Griffin has 20 power and 10 HP. Coiled Naga has 20 power and 20 HP. That means that they basically trade. They have enough power to kill each other. Cool. And yeah, that's the end of this turn.
End turn. Back to the Paladin, who has drawn Zuckerzoid. Everyone's favorite, right?
Yeah, not so much.
Good old Zuck.
No one loves Zuck. This card can be very useful in the right context because he's immune to banish and he gets stronger based on everyone else getting banished. So there are some interesting combos you'll see there. But for now, with an empty board and early game, let's just stake him. Get rid of the Zuck.
See ya, Zuck. Go build that metaverse, mate.
Yeah. Alright,
Cool.
we drew another Hydra, so we got 2 of them now. We do have enough gems now to play the Penguin Mage, so we may as well do that. We get a bit of tempo here. The Penguin Mage will give you a depleted blue gem when you summon
So
it.
just gain that blue gem.
Yep. but you lose that gem if he gets destroyed. So it's a temporary tempo advantage.
Yeah, I think
but-
someone asked earlier if there were cards that give you mana gems, so I guess that's one that does give you a gem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There are other ways you can gain gems beyond staking. Staking is just the core mechanic. Cool. So let's end the turn and see what the occultist draws.
The occultist has drawn a Harpy Huntress.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we might want to play that in a little bit, but I think, yeah, we'd need to stake the Liquidate, which is a pretty strong card to get the pink gem. We could play the Forge Imp. I would say the Kraken is probably our least valuable card. We'd need 2 gems, 2 blue gems and 3 of any color. So we're pretty far off playing that. Let's just stake him and see if we get anything else. Maybe a 3-drop, hopefully.
Picked up a Wyvern.
Okay, not a 3-drop. More pink. Okay, we're gonna have to start generating pink gems soon for occultist. But for now, well, there's only one card we can play, which is the Forge Imp.
Yeah, so you can see that cards that are playable will have a flame highlight around them. So we'll play that Forge Imp. Cool. And that's end turn.
Perfect.
Paladin has drawn a Black Swan.
Well, Black Swan's an interesting card.
Destroys a random non-icon minion, gains its power and HP.
Yeah, so you don't really have the power to target this, and it can backfire, but if you're a gambler like myself, I think it can pay off pretty nicely. Let's firstly stake. Always a good idea to stake first. We have 2 Hydras, so let's stake one of them. We probably don't need to.
Purple gem. Picked up a Koya.
Yeah.
Koya has Guardian.
Yeah. Okay. So we could play the Koya and try to protect our Penguin Mage, but then he would get attacked by the Forge Imp. We'd take some overkill. We could play the Shocktooth Tiger and deal 10 damage, but that's not enough to kill the Forge Imp. I reckon we roll the dice and play the Black Swan. Before playing it, we should attack the enemy hero with the Penguin Mage, just in case. Don't play it yet.
Yeah, I didn't play it. Sorry.
Just in case it hits our own minion, we want to get that damage in. So let's
Sure.
swing for face the occultist with the Penguin Mage.
It's down to 390. Okay.
Okay,
And then we play the
let's
Black Swan.
Hope for the best.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, we got lucky. Paid off. I mean, worst case, it would have just eaten the stats of the Penguin Mage. We'd have a big Black Swan. But now we have board control, 2 big minions. Cultist has some work to do to catch up. Let's end the turn and switch over.
Sweet. Drawn a Forge Imp.
Okay. Not the best card in the world. We do need to start getting some pink gems. I think the Liquidate and Wyvern are a bit stronger than the Harpy, so let's start by staking the Harpy.
Drawn a Werewolf. Power plus
Okay.
50 when attacking. Cool.
Not bad, not bad. For now, I mean, we have 2 cards we could play, the Incendiary Dwarf or the Forge Imp. Forge Imp would just get value traded by either of these minions, where the Incendiary Dwarf would take both of them to kill it, and it would take them down in the process. So I think
He's
it's the
chunky.
obvious dwarf here.
Yeah.
Let's get him on the board.
Done. Cool. So we can end
Okay.
turn.
Let's see what the Paladin draws.
Paladin's drawn a Behemoth.
Okay. Behemoth is a good one. You can see it's got a lot of HP to start with, 70. But it actually
tank.
gains power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gains power every time a friendly minion dies. So we got 2 friendly minions that can attack and kamikaze at the moment. That could be an interesting one. But let's stake our other base card first. The second from the left is the Orange General. Get another orange gem since the Paladin's
Oh,
deck
we've
is
drawn a Quantum Rug. Hell yeah.
Oh, hey, that's a big one. That could be a game changer later on. But again, it costs 10 gems, so we're pretty far off playing it. Let's go with the Behemoth just to show what it can do. If we play that and then send other 2 minions on a kamikaze mission against the Dwarf, we should be able to just have a big beefy Behemoth at the end of that. So we play the Behemoth first.
Yep. And then attack the Incendiary Dwarf.
Yeah. See, when the Penguin Mage died, we lost that extra blue gem, but we also
Behemoth
gained
powers
20
up.
power on the Behemoth. Yeah.
Sweet.
So now we have full board control with a big beefy minion. Let's switch to the Occultist.
China ban.
Hey,
Getting interesting.
that's another good one. Yeah, it wouldn't really do much now. One, we can't play it because it costs 7 gems total. Deals 60 damage to all characters, so that's minions on both sides of the board and both heroes. So the Behemoth would actually still live. What we can do though is liquidate the Behemoth, and for that we need a second pink gem. So there's an obvious card to stake here, which is
So the Wyvern. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have any other options to get the pink gem we need.
Cool. So we play liquidate and.
Yep. So we got the Phoenix. Yeah, I think we still liquidate him. So liquidate will destroy a non-icon minion and heal its owner by the amount of HP the minion destroyed had. However,
so because the
cannot go above
paladin's
420.
already at 420, it doesn't go. She doesn't go any higher. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a good thing to note here, where heroes can't go above their starting HP of 420, but minions can. There's a mechanic called Fortify where you can add HP to another minion. Cool. So yeah, that downside was really mitigated by the fact that it was already, the paladin was full health. Let's end turn and switch perspectives.
Drawn a Titan. Guardian.
Perfect. That could be the play because we can stake a card and get that 6th gem. Let's have a look here. I think we should get another orange gem and play the Titan. We could stake the Koya or the Shocktooth Tiger. Shocktooth Tiger is better when you're a bit behind because you can do AoE damage to the enemy board. Does 10 to all enemy minions. We've kind of got a clean board and initiative now, so I reckon we stake that and try to get
Stake
a
the
big
Shocktooth,
minion in play.
Okay.
Yeah, stake the Shocktooth.
And get the Titan out there.
Sure. So we drew a Gorgon. Just always check what we draw first. Yeah, but I'd say still get the Titan out there. That's our strongest play now.
Snap. Guardian.
Cool. So yeah,
Cool.
Guardian means that the enemy minions need to attack the Titan or any other minions with Guardian before they can attack a minion without it or the enemy hero. So it can protect some of your other minions or your hero if you're getting low on HP. Let's end the turn and go back to the Occultist.
Who has drawn a red officer? So that's another base
Okay,
card. Yeah.
Another base card, yeah. And we're getting to the mid to late game. This is where it kind of switches. You probably want to be staking your low drops and trying to play the more expensive, more powerful cards. So, and it is a base card, which are a bit weaker than the NFT card. So let's stake that officer and see what we get.
Drawn a bull market.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so bull market is a season. I'll spend a bit of time now just introducing seasons. Seasons are basically spells that affect the game board as long as they are in play. The only way to destroy a season that's in play is by playing another season. There can only ever be one season in play, so it's kind of like a little mini battle you can have between the two players to have whatever season benefits them most and try to maintain it. So for now, the play, I mean, it actually can work out well because the Phoenix is probably the Occultist's strongest card, but it's a 40-50. So if we played that, the Titan could just kill it and survive at 10 HP. Phoenix returns to your hand when it dies, so we wouldn't lose it completely, but it'd still be a big waste of gems. So if we play the bull market first, then it gives it enough HP to survive. So let's play that bull market.
Okay. Bull market in action. So the sound effect for that season is not in this build yet, but needless to say, all seasons will have pretty cool sound effects. So
yeah, to match the VFX we've built. So yeah, it's a cool little effect. I like that one. And with the bull market in place, let's play the Phoenix and ensure he can survive a hit of the Titan.
Cool. Now it's got a 60 because it's a plus 10, and we end turn.
Let's do it.
So drawn a Koya.
We don't need 2 Koyas, so let's stake one and see what we get.
Rugzilla.
The big boy. Nice one. Can't play him yet. We need one more gem, I think. But yeah, he could be a big one once we can. For now, there's not a lot we can do. Actually, the Hydra is good to put on the board when you have some minions with Guardian to protect him, because the Hydra gains power at the start of every turn. So let's start by playing the Koya so that we have an additional Guardian, and then get the Hydra on the board.
The Hydra on there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty well protected between the Titan and the Koya. So let him
Pretty
start
beefy
powering up.
board. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Cool.
then
Back to the Occultist.
we've still got to play with a Titan.
We can attack. Let's swing face. Let's we can't kill the Phoenix, so we may as well just do some damage to the Occultist with the Titan.
Sweet. Okay.
Cool. Good pick up.
Drawn a coiled Naga.
Yeah, not the best card at this point in the game. Let's just stake it and see what we get.
Stake the coiled Naga. Yeah.
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 I mean, we could do that or the Fortune, but we've got 2 red. We only got
Drawn a
blue.
Seraph with force field.
Seraph is
Yeah.
a lot better. Yeah. Okay. Let's let's play the Seraph. Force field means it protects the prevents the next source of damage, and you lose force field. But Seraph also has the ability to give another friendly minion on the board 30 HP via Fortify at the start of every turn. So we want to protect him and, you know, hopefully get some snowball happening. If we attack with Phoenix, we can see that the only eligible targets will be the Titan or the Koya, because they have Guardian. So it makes sense to just kill the Koya. We can do that without losing the Phoenix, so it gives us a bit of an advantage. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, let's kill the Koya with the Phoenix.
See ya, Koya. Cool.
Cool. Alright, well, I don't think we can do anything
That's
else.
end turn.
End the turn.
Someone is asking, can you put a card in any of the positions that glow blue? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And someone else
positioning
asking, how do the rainbow diamonds work? I think you're going to cover that probably when we come to playing one of them.
I mean,
but,
I'll do
yeah.
I'll do it now, actually, so that's a good question. So first of all, yes, you can choose how to position your cards, and that'll come into play with things like Shockwave, which damages adjacent minions. And when you stake a rainbow card, you can choose what color gem you want to create. So they're very useful for gem fixing if you're playing kind of a greedy deck with a lot of different colors, because you really need to get that consistency to make sure you have enough of those unique sources. I think in this build we've got it so it generates a charged gem, but we've been doing a lot of testing and we're probably going to end up doing it where the rainbow cards, if you stake them, they generate a depleted gem. So you get the advantage of being able to choose the color, but you lose the charge on the turn you stake it. And if the other question was about like the costing, so we can see the Rainagon at the moment has 4 rainbow gem requirement and 4 colorless. Rainbow gem requirement means you need a unique color. So right now, for example, the Paladin has orange, blue, and purple. So even if we had a full gem tray, we wouldn't be able to play the Rainagon. We need that 4th unique color there as part of the cost. Yeah, and Rainagon's an interesting one because it even takes that concept a bit further, and it costs 1 colorless less for each unique color you have. So its base cost is 11 gems, but you can reduce that by 7 if you have 1 of each of the gem colors down to 4 for a pretty powerful minion. But that's hard to get a deck working with 7 different colors. So pros and cons. Cool. Hope that answers the questions we had. Let's jump back into the game.
So we picked up a Shocktooth Tiger.
I mean, we could play the Rugzilla now, right? Let's stake that Shocktooth. And then play the
Get a Rugzilla on the board. Yep. He's a fun card.
Yeah. There he
Cool.
is. He's on the anti-rug brigade. No scams. Cool. Good to have Rugzilla on the board. Okay, we've used all our gems, so mean, we have some pretty beefy Guardians. Let's press our advantage and do as much damage as we can to the Occultist. We can see the Hydra gain 20 power at the start of the turn, so he's getting stronger. Let's, yeah, swing face with the Titan and the Hydra.
Down to 250.
Getting there.
Cool. Okay, end turn.
Okay. For sure.
Drawn a Manticore.
Okay. Alright, well, Manticore's a bit stronger than 4-Gimp, so let's stake the 4-Gimp to start with, see if we get anything good.
Harpy Huntress. And we can play Chinaban.
We can. I reckon we greed it a little bit. Hope that the enemy commits more to the board for the Chinaban. So why don't we freeze the board so we stop the bleeding? We're down to 250. Let's play Cold Storage.
Cold Storage. So that freezes all enemy minions, so they can't play next turn.
They can't attack next turn. Yeah, they miss their next attack before unfreezing. And let's summon the Werewolf. Is probably our strongest card. If it gets the Fortify buff from Seraph, it'll survive Chinaban if we play that next turn. But another card that will survive Chinaban at the moment is Rugzilla. We can't have that, so I reckon the Seraph is the higher value card. So let's kamikaze our Phoenix into Rugzilla just to get Rugzilla down to Chinaban killing range.
Yeah, because we've got 60, and so Chinaban deals 60 damage to all characters, right?
Yeah, and we can see Phoenix just return to our hand. The only way you can really permanently kill a Phoenix is if you freeze it before killing it. Otherwise, it just keeps going back to your hand. So, yeah, pretty persistent pesky minion. Let's end the turn and switch back to the Paladin.
Who has drawn a Minotaur?
Okay. Sweet. All right, let's show off that rainbow staking mechanic. Let's because we are on. I think this is our 9th gem, so we could play Rug next turn, but we've only got 3 colors of gem, so we really need that 4th source. We don't have any. We've only got an orange, a purple in hand, so we really need to stake a rainbow card. Let's stake the Rainagon and get a green gem, I guess. Just anything that's not the 3 we've got.
Yep. And we've picked up Diamond Hands. Gives all minions plus 10 power.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I mean, we may as well show that one off. Let's play the Minotaur first. So we've got 4 minions that would benefit from that. We've got the Guardian in place.
Yep.
Okay, let's play Diamond Hands.
Diamond Hands. Off we go. Cool animation.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so that basically, you can see what happened there. The Seasons platform has changed from Bull Market to Diamond Hands. All the minions on the board have lost that 10 HP they were getting from the Bull Market, and they've all gained 10 power from Diamond Hands. So it's really made a pretty big difference to the state of the board. We got some mana left, so let's summon the Gorgon.
Done. Pretty stacked board.
Yeah.
Guess we end turn.
End turn, yeah. And obviously, if we knew what the Occultist had, we probably wouldn't be making this play, but we gotta be...
That Chinaban is going to be real painful.
Cool, let's stake first. Let's stake the, I guess, the Manticore?
Sure.
Let's see what we get.
Got a Centaur with lifesteal.
Okay. Nothing interesting. Time to bring out the big guns.
Chinaban?
What do you got for us? Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's go, Z. Boom. All gone.
And so the balance shifts. Yeah, awesome. Pretty powerful turn. And now that we've cleared the Guardians out of the way, we can get some damage into the Paladin Let's swing face. It's boosted by the diamond hands, so we can do 100 damage and bring her down to 260. We attack with both the Seraph and the Werewolf, yep. And then we got a couple gems left, so let's play that Harpy Huntress. Harpy Huntress allows you to fortify another friendly minion when you play her.
Should we do the Seraph?
Some HP. No, I reckon the Werewolf, because Werewolf's almost dead, down to 20.
Oh,
the Seraph's
right, yeah,
force
fair.
field prevents
Makes
damage,
sense.
so yeah, let's do the Werewolf.
Someone
Cool.
wrote
And
plus 100 social credit score for using she. Good call.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're sucking up to a glorious leader.
Okay, enter.
Okay.
What do we got? Drew a Mastodon. This I really like the art of this card. It's a sweet looking card, isn't it?
Yeah. Agreed.
But might be what we need to stake, hey?
Yeah,
looking at what we've got left.
Especially if we're playing what we're looking at for the build, where if you stake a rainbow card, it's depleted. We really want to play the Rug this turn because we're pretty far behind on board, so we have to stake the Mastodon. Let's stake that Mastodon and summon the Dark Force that is Quantum Rug.
Here we go. Good old Quantum Rug. Boom. Cleared the board.
Absolutely. Got rugged. Occultist and all his cronies. Cool. Yeah, I mean, we've blown our load of gems, so we've got to end the turn and pass back, but we have a very powerful minion on the board, and we've just cleared the opposing side, so that is a strong position. However,
Old mate has got Chad up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real leader. Okay, so we're one gem off. We need to stake something. Weakest card is probably the center. Let's stake him and see what we get.
Got another China ban.
Hey.
So I guess Chad is pretty awesome. Pumped, Guardian, Force Field, and Lifesteal.
Yep. So we've introduced all of those terms except for Lifesteal. Lifesteal just basically means that any damage Chad deals will heal his owner's hero, basically. So yeah, the best way to counter a Rug is with Chad Rainey. Let's get him on the board. Nice. And since he has pumped, he can attack in, kill the Rug, take no damage himself, heal the Occultist for 100 HP. So should be a pretty big swing.
Boom.
There we go. Yeah.
And that's end
looked like
turn.
the Paladin was pretty dominant until Chad came. So yeah, let's end turn.
Drawn a Minotaur.
Okay, so in this build, I don't think we've got the mechanic for staking when you've got a full gem tray. This is turn 11, but we've been doing a lot of testing back and forth, and it looks like when we release the game, we are going to have that mechanic. So you'll be able to stake a card, choose which gem in your tray gets destroyed to replace with a new one, and that allows you to draw a new card. So it's pretty helpful when you're in a top deck war late game, just to make sure you can keep searching for your outs. But for now, let's honor the current build and not stake anything. We'll just play the Rainagon, I reckon. With diamond hands, it should be able to trade with Chad at least. It's not really going to give us an advantage, but we're pretty far behind, so we've got to do what we can.
So that's end turn?
Yeah, I mean, the other cards cost 4. We've only got 3 gems left. We can't really do anything else, so that's turn. The Occultist. So what we can do here is Cyclops actually costs less for each friendly minion in play. So we can see at the moment it's costing 1 yellow and 5 colorless gems. But if we play one of the other minions, Oni or Phoenix, then it should come down to 1 yellow and 4 colors. Yeah. Phoenix is a bit stronger than Oni for this board state. Oni's better when there's a lot of minions on the board. And
it's got Shockwave. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do Phoenix first. just play it, don't stake it.
Yep. And Cyclops
then-
as well.
Yeah, now that we can afford Cyclops with 2 minions on the board, let's play him.
Cool. And
then I don't think it's worth hitting the Rainagon.
it's
Chad
just a
has
trade.
Guardian and
Yeah.
and we're gonna heal for 110 if we hit the enemy hero, so we're pretty strong. Let's get the damage in and try to close this out. Hit the Paladin.
Cool. So end
Nice
turn.
one. Yep, let's do it.
Drawn an ogre.
Okay. Yeah, again, unfortunately none of this stuff has Guardian or like on-play effects or anything that's gonna help us. But we can trade the Rainagon into chat at least, and then there's not enough damage on board to kill us next turn. There's only 120 from the Cyclops and Phoenix. We're at 150. So let's trade the Rainagon in, and I guess just summon the Minotaur as our strongest minion plus one of the ogres. We should have enough to do both of them.
Cool. And we
Okay.
end turn.
Yeah. Okay, so since we have Glorious Leader in hand, we can actually finish the game here. Let's start by swinging Phoenix and
Oh, just go
Cyclops
straight for
into
Paladin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Go
that'll
for
get
the
it down
enemy
to
hero.
30. And then we can play Chinaman. Yeah.
Let's do it.
And that's game over.
GG. Awesome.
Bam.
Cool.
And that's done.
Yeah, so yeah, we hope everyone enjoyed the first live gameplay demo of Rainy the Lords of Light. Yeah, we've been working very hard on bringing this to you, so we're super thrilled to have been able to do this today. And I think most of you will agree it's looking and feeling pretty great. So looking forward to getting your feedback when you test it yourself as soon as it's ready. But with that section of the live stream done, I think we can open it up to Q&A.
Yeah. So there's already a couple of questions here. I think, let's see, what have we got? Yeah, so guys, just drop your questions into the live stream chat and we'll try and get through as many of them as we can. When alpha? So...
Yeah, I knew that one would be coming.
Yeah, so do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So, look, our current plan, you can see we've got a pretty fleshed out and ready to play game. However, we are aware of the fact that you only get one chance to make a first impression. And so we've been a little bit cautious with that, and we've also been very ambitious with our goals. So the current plan is to do a phased release, and if all goes to plan, then the first alpha release, which will be invite only, will be next month in May. So obviously it depends on how things plan out, but we're really working hard to get this in your hands as soon as possible so that you guys can test it, not just for your experience, but also we really value your feedback and suggestions on the game design to make sure it's as engaging as possible. So yeah, short answer is we're still aiming for next month for the first stage of the alpha.
Another question. Is there a list of each card's powers and effects? So I guess we'll release it as part of the Git book that will come out for the game.
Yeah, so we've been teasing a bunch of these cards through mediums over the past months, including the stats and costs and everything, but they are continually changing. As I was saying earlier, we're doing a lot of testing. We've got a lot of people working on just experimenting with different decks and making sure we get the balance right. So they are subject to change, but we will give you a centralized resource to see all the stats once we're ready. Yeah.
Question: when will the next card drop be?
Card drop, again, it's pretty similar. So, and there's another question that this ties into when marketing. All the usual questions, go figure. We've been working very hard on a lot of behind the scenes partnerships that we are on the cusp of being able to lock in and confirm. So subject to that going as planned and as it looks like it's going towards, then the next card pack drop could be again as early as next month is what we're looking at. It's still to be confirmed, like we still need to see if all of the dominoes fall into place, but we've got all of the cards ready for the second edition, all of the art, all the stats, so we're ready to do it. We just want to make sure we time that at the right place, so that we get the maximum interest. And marketing will be done. We've got a lot planned for a big marketing push once we've got the game ready to open up to the broader public, even if it is still like a testing phase, and when we're about to do the card pack. So we don't really want to be marketing something that's still very early stage development. I think we're going to get a lot more bang for buck once we can get it in the hands of the people and show you stuff like we've just done now. So marketing will ramp up quite substantially at about the same time as the card pack drop and the more open phases of testing for the game.
Another person asks, when will the airdrop for when will there be the airdrop for photons for reigning holders? What are the play to earn elements? And what was the Meterland screenshot? And is it implemented to Lords of Light? So there's a few questions there. I guess the airdrop will come. I guess when we're actually launching, closer to full to the Photon launch. So
yeah.
Play to earn elements. I guess so. That's been covered in a medium actually. Few mediums back. This sort of has gone into play to earn aspects. We can drop a link to that again in chat. Metaland. Yeah, so the land basically is the interface through which you'll interact with the broader Lords of Light metaverse. It's, I guess, akin to the map interface for DeFi Kingdoms, if that gives you some sort of point of reference. What else we got? What are current VCs bringing to the table? Was there some new VCs entering as well? Yes. So we can't talk too much about that at the moment because there's basically a number of negotiations happening at the moment. We're hoping to close out all of that in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have significant announcements to make on that front. Hopefully pretty big stuff there. So something we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, there will definitely, either way though, I can say there will be some more VCs entering the picture. We've already got some firm confirmations. So yeah, stay tuned. In terms of what the current VCs are bringing to the table, we're getting a lot of regular advice from the original investors in the way we're building the metaverse and the game and the tokenomics. And obviously they are connecting us with a lot of the people who have been instrumental in building the game and helping us with this current round that we're going through. And the final thing is they're poised and ready to help us with amplification of our marketing efforts once we're ready to do that. Okay. A bunch of people asking what chain this will be on.
Yeah, so the initial plan is to launch on Phantom. However, there is a possibility that might change depending on a couple of things we're working on. So we will keep you guys tuned. Don't want to jump the gun there.
Yeah. Marcus Aurelius has hit the camera. How pay to win will this game be? We're implementing an MMR system, so you will be matched against someone of comparable power level in your deck and ability. So we don't really want the experience of someone just finding the game months down the track and someone else who has just forked out a lot for the cards being matched up against them and then just steamrolling them. That's not fun for anyone, to be honest. So that's why we're implementing the MMR system. But the play to earn aspects will be correlated to your MMR. So if you have more powerful cards, you will be able to earn a higher amount of photon directly or indirectly. But if you can't afford to get all the fancy NFT cards, you'll still be able to win the game and earn some, but just not on the same level because you'll be matched against weaker opponents.
When the game drops, are you aiming for some big centralized exchanges? Yes, we are. We're already speaking with them, but I can't tell you who they are yet. How do you see Rainy Token down in the future? Do you see that people buy Rainy Tokens have enough reason to do so? Is Rainy Token tied to these new things like RTLOL Metaverse? Yes, the Rainy Token is. It's actually all covered in the same medium that goes into the play-to-earn aspects of the Lords of Light. So check out our medium. There's a lot of detail there on that topic.
Absolutely. What's Proton used for? I think that's an unrelated token on Phantom.
They mean Photon, obviously.
Photon, yeah, Photon will be used to. It's the primary in-game currency. So there's 10 to 15 different ways that you'll be able to spend Photon, including, crafting, leveling up, doing a few bits and pieces like breeding, and a lot of that will come out in the future. But yeah, Photon's use is the primary in-game currency. It'll be, yeah.
Please don't F up the matching system, asks Jim Vincent. Sorry, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so Photon is the actual token, but we're going to have a secondary resource in the game called gold, which won't be tokenized. So, yeah.
Can we buy cards with Photon? Yes, you will be able to buy card packs with Photon.
Yeah.
Will there be a market to buy cards with Photon? How beneficial would the infused NFTs be? So the infused NFTs will... do you want to cover that one, Artkin?
Sure. Yeah. So that's predominantly for the overworld game. Depending on the power level of the infused NFT, there's a variety of different levels you're going to be able to see. But they will be used to amplify and increase your photon earning rates. That's the primary use they will have. They're not going to be generating you photon on their own. You're going to have to take some other actions, but they will be able to amplify or accelerate the rate of earning. So they can be quite powerful in the right circumstances if you tick all the other boxes to maximize their efficiency, basically.
Marcus Aurelius asks, regarding marketing, will you be reaching out to Twitch streamers, etc.? Yes, we most definitely will.
That's the plan, 100%.
It's a big part of our marketing strategy, for sure. Have we missed anything else? I think we've caught most of those questions.
X photon equals photon when released. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. X photon is basically, yeah, you'll be able to use it to earn some photon in a time release format.
Yeah, so probably a better way of saying it is that X photon is representative of a vested photon token. So you'll be able to exchange your X photon for vesting photon.
But the ratio is not 1-to-1, so you'll be able to see what the ratio is once we get there.
Yeah.
Can I farm photon X photon with just Rainy? So the plan is actually, yes, to be able to use Rainy to access photon in a staking format. But there will be limitations and a lot of requirements if you want to earn a respectable amount of photon rather than just a minimal amount. Announce the changes. Lots of questions. Okay. You announced the changes that Rainy will be the main token for the verse, so also for other upcoming games. But will
is it a website game? Yeah. So this what you've seen today is running in WebGL in a browser. We may have a downloadable version released later. Also, mobile is on the roadmap. But yeah, initially it's a WebGL game. And it's yeah. So you can add something?
Yeah, so it'll be WebGL. No, it's just there's a lot of other questions, so I'm just trying to do them before they scroll off. So Florian Singer, yes, there's a lot of enduring value that'll be provided to Rainy beyond the airdrop. One is what I was just mentioning before. There's going to be some staking options to interact with Photon. Honest Penguin asked, are we able to play if we don't have 40 card NFTs? Yes, you'll need 40 cards to make a deck, but everyone will be able to access all of the base cards for free. So you could actually play the game with 0 NFTs. It's just that your power level of your deck will be relatively low and your earning potential will be low or non-existent if you don't put some NFTs in there. But it'll at least allow you to get into the game, and if you only have 10 NFTs, you can fill the deck out with 30 base cards.
Can we have better rewards based on time with Rainy rather than size of bag held? Yes, time-based staking will form a part of the multiplier that impacts your baseline earning rate from the staking pool. Are you currently looking for more developers? We are actually. So if you want to hit up one of the mods in the Telegram or Discord, they'll grab your details and we can have a chat for sure. Any plans to get more use cases? Sorry, you go.
Question above about heroes. What particular skills and abilities will the heroes have? How much will the hero influence the game? So yeah, the way to think of it is the trading card game is like a premier game within a broader game or metaverse. So you'll be able to have a band of heroes and send them off on quests. The heroes will have a variety of different skills. You might have one that is adept at hunting, you might have one that is better at fighting like a warrior, and that will determine their success rate in the quests as well as the level of rewards they receive. Other factors there will be, there's an element of chance. There's going to be some influences you can make by equipping the right equipment or consumables. But yeah, there's going to be it's a pretty vast game we're building for the metaverse component. The trading card game, you basically select one of your heroes to act as the champion. In this case, it was the occultist and paladin, and they will go off and fight in the Colosseum, which is one of the most active ways to be able to participate in the play to earn game. But there's a lot more you can do, which is more time based and takes a little bit more investment. So that also answers the question, how will the RPG part work?
Yeah, and then I guess there's another follow-up question which is related. Is there another game planned for after RTLOL? So again, the trading card game, the way to think of it is, if you're familiar with DeFi Kingdoms, think of the trading card game as one form of questing mechanic inside a broader metaverse, right? Other questing mechanics inside the metaverse include like auto questing, which will be a launch feature. And outside of that, there will also be other questing mechanics, which will essentially be other games within this metaverse. So yes, there will be other games being built inside the Lords of Light metaverse, which will allow you to leverage Photon as well as NFTs that you obtain within the world. So, yeah.
Yep. Marcus Aurelius, so closed alpha next month, then further game tweaks. That mean the public beta hopefully by July. I mean, absolutely, we're trying to get this to you guys as quickly as we can, but by the same token, we just need to make sure it's really polished and it creates that massive impression on new players that we need to be able to grow the game to as big a point as we want to build it into. Mint price on next drops, that's TBC. We're not at that point yet. We'll let you know as soon as we confirm what that is. Will the Satoshi card be part of the game? Yes, absolutely. Satoshi Nakamoto and Satoshi Stacker are both playable cards in the game. You might have seen Satoshi Nakamoto in the gameplay trailer from December. What else have we got?
There's lots of questions. Questions about rainbows and unicorns from Casino Godzilla. Do you see that one?
Any plans to get more use case for rainbows, corns? I also have excess rainbows even after NFT drops. We cool to use them as if you could do some loot boxes, loot packs. Yeah, absolutely. We've had a lot of internal discussions about that. Right now, our focus is predominantly on the game. and I can confirm that there will be card packs purchasable with rainbows and unicorns. So that's one thing that is worth stacking your points for. But yeah, we've got a lot of ideas for once we've got the game out to the public, how we can add some more use cases for the bows and corns. So stay tuned on that one.
Tournament play or comps, 100%. That's part of the roadmap. Tournament play is definitely up there. More background music. Yeah, there's going to be a whole soundtrack for the game. So this is just one track that you're hearing.
Any news on NFT lending for rainy cards? Yes, but that won't be the initial testing release. That's going to be like a few months from here. We do have intentions to allow like a renting mechanism for cards if you want some NFTs and you can't afford to buy them outright.
What time limits
Florian Singer.
So you go.
Florian Singer says, "Man, guys, take your time and release it in the next bull market." Yeah, I mean,
okay. See you in 3 years then.
I don't know. That's pessimistic.
No, it's just the Fed interest rate rises are going to go for the next 2.5 years. I think it looks like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I mean, I think timing is always going to be front of mind for us, and that is one of the factors that have, I guess, prompted us to take that line of, you know, when the market's quite quiet, we're busy building. So you might not hear from us for a while, but we're very heavily invested in Rainy, and we're just playing the long game. So yeah, if the market conditions prevail, then we'll be poised to take advantage of them. Otherwise, I don't think we're just going to delay it indefinitely and wait for a bull market if it doesn't come. But yeah, fingers crossed we get some more bullish sentiment by the time we're ready.
Simon asks, what time limits do you expect to implement per turn in the game?
That's a good question. We have done some play testing around that, and we're looking at between a minute and a minute and a half seems to be about the sweet spot, but it really depends. We've got some mechanisms in place to prevent people from, I guess, trolling and just winding out the turn time. So that's still up in the air, and we'll confirm it soon. But that's also actually one of the points we want to get some feedback from you guys on once we roll out some other more open testing.
What is the timeline for renting out cards, and is the chain going to matter for utility in game? So I guess that's the card renting is sort of a TBA in terms of timeline. I'm not sure what you mean by is the chain going to matter for utility in game. Sorry, that's not clear to me. Do you know what that means?
I think the cards, it's not going to matter what chain you have them on.
I see. That's what they're asking. Right. Yeah,
it's fine. Okay, what else have we got? If I got my
any plans to do more AMAs? 100%. Yep. Where do you see us in 2 years? About 10 to 100 times the size, right?
At least, yeah. I don't know. So we're just making this as big as possible. So we got like a blue sky, massive ambition, and we're just gonna keep building and try to make it as big as we possibly can. We're gonna be uncompromising in maintaining a level of quality across the board. And then yeah, rain, hail, or shine, bull market, bear market, we're just gonna continue building and going bigger and better as we go. So yeah, if all goes to plan, we could end up really big.
Can players actually be able to trade cards? Yes, of course, as long as they are NFT cards and not base cards.
Yep. I mean, no difference to what people have been doing with the Genesis cards. Base cards you won't need to. They're account booked, but you can use as many of them as you want. So base cards, I'll talk about that a little bit more. So you saw like the red officer and the orange general. They're actually available in all 7 colors. You can have a red officer, you can have a blue officer, you can have a green officer. So the whole point is that they really help you have some flexibility in building a deck of whatever color combination you want, and I guess just filling any gaps if you don't have cards of a particular color. Yeah, but the NFT cards will be tradable, rentable, sellable.
Do you have any other plans, early plans, other than RTLOL and the metaverse? So we have other plans for games within the RTLOL metaverse. You know, that we're already in sort of, I guess, pre-production discussions around. So yeah. When Rainy hits $1, we see each other at Seb's party. Sure. Sounds great.
Sure.
Launchpad. So the launchpad, I guess, in the current market environment, doesn't really make sense to pursue. It's something that we could look at in a more of a sort of bull phase of the market.
Yeah, we've got everything we need to operate the launchpad, but we're, like I was saying earlier, we're very uncompromising with quality. The people we spoke to who wanted to launch through us, they just weren't up to par. And now that we're in a bit of a quieter period for the market, there's just not much happening in that space. But yeah, absolutely. If we get some street cred as we continue building, we could revisit that. When
Will we get to choose in the marketplace different rarity card chests? So yeah, we'll be announcing the format of the card pack drop as we get closer to the actual drop date. Now that you've lifted the veil, can we expect more gameplay footage released in the future? 100%. Yeah. We've sort of been holding that back until we sort of got to a level of polish where we were happy to sort of show this off to you guys. But yeah, 100% we'll be releasing clips and promoting all that sort of stuff on socials, etc. as part of our marketing.
Yeah, we've got a top-notch dev team, and they have done a really good job in building the game to the point now where we can be quite nimble in making changes and updating. So we should be able to be rolling out a lot more and showing you a lot more of the gameplay from here. The hard work's been done.
As a game studio, will you be taking games from other studios along with the in-house developed games? How will that work? Yeah, so we are talking with a couple of other studios about releasing games under the Rainy banner. So we'll have more to say on that in the near future. News on the chain you were going with RTLOL. Again, the initial plan was to launch on Phantom. However, that is subject to change, which depends on a couple of discussions that are happening at the moment. So we'll keep you guys posted on that.
We should be able to confirm the chain very shortly, though.
Yeah.
We're talking within the next weeks. Yeah.
When I own one, I'm not sure what Florian is asking about the Azukis.
That's a completely unrelated NFT.
Yeah. How many devs do you currently have dedicated to the
Proton,
game? Okay, so our entire team is around 25 people in total, which includes developers, artists, and so on. Are they from any notable studios? Yeah, so our game developers are from predominantly Australian and from AAA and AA backgrounds. Our lead game developer is has worked at Gameloft and Ubisoft. Yeah.
Got some from Microsoft.
Microsoft, Magic Leap, etc. The hero on the victory screen looks like Michael Fassbender. Take that as a comment. Will you have geolocated servers of the world for matching local players with each other? So initially, it won't be geolocated. There isn't really... Latency really isn't so much of a concern, I guess, with this sort of game. It's not like you're playing a first-person shooter where you need everyone to be, in the same sort of region. Yeah.
Also, we don't want it to be too granular in the matchmaking. I think it's mostly we just want it to be based on MMR, which is going to be an indication of your ability and the strength of your deck. If we then started adding, a lot of other filtering mechanisms for location and stuff, it just gets needlessly complex to the point where you won't be able to find an opponent to play with sometimes. So we don't really want to go down that route.
Releasing other games under the Rainy banner, how can you provide certainty that those projects won't take resources from the core RTLOL game? So anything that we would release that's from another studio would not leverage our development team. They would be sort of siloed essentially. How big is the dev team? We've already covered that. Do you have a gaming background? You seem very excited. So I have a well, we both have sort of technical marketing, finance backgrounds, not specifically in game development, but we've built numerous successful businesses.
Yeah.
And obviously, big time gamers as well.
Yeah, I would say we're serial entrepreneurs with finance and tech backgrounds who have played games since we were kids. That's basically our background.
Okay. Will we have our own deck when entering a tournament, or will it be like Hearthstone and we pick random cards? Yeah, so the tournament mode has not, in terms of how that sort of card selections, etc., that's not yet been finalized. Okay, question 3. Okay, so Florian's saying, if I have a prominent NFT, like Bored Ape Yacht Club or Punks, it'd be sweet idea to give these holders a special card. Ape or Punk to make interaction with other NFT projects and get traction. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting idea. We'll have a chat about that one. Yeah.
We've done some cards like Pudge Penguins, and then they ended up being a rug pull. So we're definitely open to collaborating with other big names in the NFT space or crypto space. That's pretty fundamental to what RTLOL is about.
Will cards be banned in the future or restricted? I don't know what, like... I'm not quite sure what that question means.
So I think what Marius is asking there, correct me if I'm wrong, might be to do with like a format. So Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, a lot of these games will rotate editions in and out. It's possible that we will do that. However, it's not in the immediate roadmap. So we're talking 1-2 years away before any cards would become obsolete, and we're always going to have a format where all of the cards are playable. So yeah, that's a really long-term thing. How will card upgrades work? What will they gain from burning duplicates? I think that's a reference to one of our very early mediums where we were talking about the concept of burning cards. We haven't actually progressed that idea much further, so we may not have the burning mechanism in place. And in terms of leveling, you'll see that the cards have stats that are, instead of like, if you look at Hearthstone, for example, they might have like a 2-2. We've got like 20-20s. So we have a lot of flexibility in leveling up without it being game-breaking, more incremental progress. So that's a possibility for the future, but it's not something that's going to be live for initial release.
Will there be a betting component before or in game?
Not for the initial release, maybe in the future. I mean, we've talked about, some some higher stakes tournament play. The initial testing is more just to make sure that the game engine and everything's working fine, and then we're absolutely open to expanding into those sort of things based on demand.
That's picking up my call audio. We might actually wrap up there. I think we've taken just about all the questions. Any anti-cheat questions in place? 1 second.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite a fluid concept. So this is why we're going to have the testing phase, which is going to be open, and we have a lot of resources and a lot of talented people who are heavily experienced to try to prevent cheating. But if we encounter any issues, then we will absolutely act very swiftly to implement fixes, and also look potentially at ensuring that any unfair advantage that cheaters have gained can be undone where possible. We're building a lot of mechanics into the game to give us that ability. So, yep.
Cannonball must be his wife forgot to buy potatoes. Well, she is Irish, so you know, not half wrong.
Do you see Rainicorn becoming a brand? Does it feel like you're building a brand, an ecosystem? Absolutely. I mean, as we were saying earlier, this is our passion and our dream, and we're gonna invest heavily in it and take it as big as possible, however long it takes. Yeah. Any plans for Rainy Bones? Not at this stage, no.
Is it okay to use other people's names, copyright claims, etc.? Yes. So we've got a very good attorney, and all that stuff has been cleared. Yeah, it's not a concern. Cool. Okay, I think we might wrap up there because we've gone over an hour. But yeah, we'll definitely have another AMA shortly, and we can answer a whole bunch of these questions. A whole bunch more questions, rather.
Absolutely. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming and joining us today and checking out the first live demo. As we said, we're going to have a lot more of these coming up. We're going to have a lot more AMAs. So feel free to post your questions if you missed your chance now, anytime in Telegram or Discord. And also just wanted to give a big shout out to the whole Rainy team, the devs, the artists, everyone who has helped build us to this point. I think, yeah, we're really happy with how the game is looking and excited for the prospects going forward.
Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you all real soon.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
See ya.